Hello and welcome to another video. This is Hannah with Frugal for Two, and today we're going to be doing a grocery haul slash pantry freezer tour because this time the grocery haul was so big that me and my husband really just wanted to get it put away right away. We didn't want to drag it all out again to film because my shoulder is hurt right now, and so I can only lift so much so often. So we decided to go ahead and just put everything away, but this gives me a great opportunity to show you what our pantry and freezer looks like. So let's get to it. Now normally we have a freezer inventory on this door, and that just tells us what's in here so we know what to use up first, so that nothing goes bad. We don't find something in the back of the freezer one day. But I just pulled them off because we bought so much in this haul because we managed to get some assistance. So we got a lot of food to stock us up. We were nearly empty, but we are very grateful for the assistance that we've gotten. So we were able to stock up a lot of things. So first of all, we got some Greek yogurt. Yes, you can totally freeze this. And I'm going to be using that for some breakfast muffins. And of course we've got the butter that we are going through here in the freezer, and I just pull one out whenever we need and put it in the refrigerator. And in here you can see this is what happens when I separate our milk and put it into jars and freeze it. And we just pull out a jar a day or two before we need it, and it thaws out perfectly and we're able to use it. This freezer we put things we want easy access to or things that I just worked with. So we've got all these onions that I just put into containers. And yes, these are minced white onions, and I just minced them up with a little bit of water and put them in these small containers, and they are good to pull out whenever I need onions. Same thing with these green onions. I just chop them up and I can pull one out whenever I need it. This is the rotisserie chicken. We usually bring at least one home every month, and I pull it apart, separate it into a couple of different baggies, and we can pull one out whenever we need to put chicken in something. We got these hamburger buns because we got some hamburger patties or Angus patties that my family donated to us because they weren't going to eat them, along with some frozen breakfast sandwiches. These are just ham and Swiss cheese and biscuit. Very quick, very simple, ready to go. Some broccoli to put in any meals that I might need it. And chicken and fries is a regular lazy meal around here whenever I don't want to cook. So we've got our chicken and fries right in here, ready to go. Now, just for the grocery haul part of this, moving down to the refrigerator, we needed to get eggs desperately, so we got some eggs. We got some shredded cheese because we always use a lot of shredded cheese. And we also, yes, this is homemade queso. We've got the hot version for my husband and the normal version for me. And this is just the base cheese that we make it from. We already opened up that first can. I got 2 cans of biscuits because I'm hoping to make some chicken and biscuits or biscuits and gravy here in the upcoming month. This is our milk. We've about used up this jar, so this jar is thawing out behind it. And we were almost out of picante sauce. This is something my husband uses a lot, so I went ahead and grabbed another jug of that to go in there. And now, oh, and I forgot, we use Parmesan cheese quite a bit whenever we're doing spaghetti or pizza noodles, so we were running pretty low on that, so I went ahead and grabbed another one of those. Again, we had a lot of assistance for this grocery haul, so I was able to pick up quite a lot. Next up, we have the pantry. This was running pretty low when we went shopping. We had a lot of rice and a couple of noodles still, but we got quite a bit of that. We picked up some rice, and we've also got quite a bit of rice. This was from my parents. They decided they had too much rice, so they gave us some, along with these mashed potatoes and this rice right here. Then we picked up some penne noodles and elbows. We go through a lot of elbows. This we had before, just some thin spaghetti. And then we had some white rice that was also donated to us from my parents. And we picked up some egg noodles because those are great for making soup. I also picked up, I haven't had these in a long time, lentils. Lentils and rice is such a cheap, great option to have. It's quite filling, especially if you put some chicken in there with it. My family is vegetarian, so I picked this up from them, but adding some chicken to it adds just a little bit more to it when you can, but just the lentils and rice is actually really good. Next up, again, we've got these two things. This is a box of just plain old hamburger helper, and this is some bite-sized potatoes, and those were donated by family members as well. We already had these grits and oats on hand, along with these breadcrumbs, lots of peanut butter and jelly. We decided to pick up some Pop-Tarts because we could afford it, and it's nice to have some on hand. Our favorites weren't in stock, so we went with some frosted blueberry. We normally like the wild berry, but it appears that's either seasonal or it's just going out of style. I also picked up some Alfredo pasta sauce. I normally like to make my own pasta sauces, but Alfredo is a little more difficult to make, so it's nice to just get this pre-prepared for now, and hopefully in the future I can learn to make that a bit easier. But I don't like dealing with the heavy cream because it's the only thing that I would use it for. I don't like picking things up for just one thing, especially if we're not going to make a lot of it. Now, of course, we've got, for that homemade queso, lots of tortilla chips. In the back here, we've got pancake mix and crackers. It's always good to have crackers on hand. Sorry, rattle rattle. It's always good to have crackers on hand in case someone's not feeling well, or in my husband's case, he likes to have crackers with his soup. And I've got some raisins here that need to go into some cookies or something pretty soon. I've had them for a while and I need to use them up, so we'll see what those end up going into. The next shelf is the canned goods. And since we had some money to burn, so to speak, I stocked up on a lot of canned goods because I know they'll be good for a while. And so I started off with some sliced carrots, some mixed vegetables, and some sweet peas. I got a lot of the mixed vegetables because it goes so good in so many things. It's just easy to just grab a mix of vegetables to put in things. But sometimes you just want just peas, or just carrots, or just green beans, or a mix between them. And some of this corn was from a family member who had a bunch of it to use up, so we are using that up, as well as some that we have from a previous Costco run. We go through a lot of Rotel around here because it is something that my husband likes to put in ramen noodles, and he likes to put it in other things as well, quesadillas, that kind of thing. And I also use it in the queso mixture. Next we've got tomatoes, and these can be used for everything from my mild version of queso to spaghetti sauce, any number of recipes. Even in the beef quesadillas that I put up last week, and I'll put a card up here so you can access that video if you'd like. Tomato paste, this is what we use for homemade pasta sauce. And again, these guys were donated from a family member, and they're about to go to their expiration date, so we're gonna use those up. We picked up 2 boxes of these refried beans. These are my husband's favorite to go in burritos. He can't even go back to the regular ones once he tasted these organic ones from Costco. They have coconut oil in them. He's very, very fond of them. Next up, we picked up 5 pounds of potatoes. You can see we've already used some of these. And then here is the big cans of nacho sauce that we use to make queso. They are humongous cans, and they're only about $8. So we got 2 of those. One of them is that tub of cheese you saw in the refrigerator. This pineapple I need to use up somehow. I normally use pineapple in Jell-O or something like that. It's just not something I've been in the mood for lately, but it is something I need to use up, so I'll need to find a use for that. If you have any suggestions, be sure to put them below in the comments. I've also got some apple pie filling. This is not for apple pie, actually. I like using this in apple pancakes, and so hopefully I'll make up a batch of those soon. Next up, we've got some corned beef hash. This is something we've had for a little while. Every once in a while we'll do breakfast for dinner nights, and hash and eggs is just one of our favorites. This evaporated milk is wonderful for quite a few recipes, including baked mac and cheese. Again, I can link that video up there for you. Cream of chicken we use in chicken and biscuits, and I believe that's also in the baked mac and cheese as well. I've got cream of mushroom soup and some French onion soup. This is going to be used for Salisbury steak. We've made it once. We weren't too fond of it, so we're trying a different recipe to see if we can make them taste any better using a combination of these 2. Next, we have lots of chicken broth, and That is to make homemade chicken noodle soup, or use it for flavoring rice or any number of things. And these are just some different kinds of soup to have on hand for my husband whenever he's hungry, or we just have a night where I'm not able to cook or don't want to cook. He's got something for him. Next, we picked up a case of water. We've been out of bottled water for quite some time. We usually use Brita pitchers to just filter our normal old tap water, but it's really nice to have some bottled water on hand for emergencies and to put in the car. We also got our spices nice and stocked up. I recently went through our spice cabinet and pulled out all the extra refills out of the cabinet so we can just use what's open. So they're all here in the pantry now. And we've also got our coffee back here. My husband loves his coffee. He only drinks this black silk kind. He just prefers it over everything else. And these brownies were all donated by my family to us because I am a chocolate lover. And so it's just really nice to have brownies on hand for me sometimes. The only issue is that I have to have eggs on hand in order to make them. So I usually get them once a month whenever we go and get eggs. Next, we've got our baking supplies down here. So we've got self-rising flour, big old bag of sugar from Costco, and some oil. Here we've got our olive oil spray along with vegetable oil. I picked up some shrimp for my husband to eat this time, so picked up some cocktail sauce for him as well. Picked up some ketchup for our chicken and fries to have on hand, and we've got the regular organic ketchup for me. And for my husband, he prefers this spicy tomato ketchup, so got some of that for him as well. And we've got some brown sugar back here as well. So that is our very fully stocked pantry at the moment. Next up, we've got the chest freezer. This is something that I got when we first moved in here about 6 months ago. I really didn't have enough room in that little freezer inside to do meal prep and all the things that I love to do to save us a little money, so we decided to invest in getting a chest freezer. So let's have a look inside. So this was almost empty when we went to the store. We were doing a purge of everything, going through making sure everything got used. So let's start here in the little basket. We bought 2 boxes of these frozen ramen bowls, and here we still have the box, so let me show you that. We get these from Costco, and this is my husband's absolute favorite. He eats them up really fast whenever we purchase them. They're very expensive. They're almost, I think, $15 or $16 a box for 6 bowls. So not very frugal, but they are a treat that my husband very much loves, and we were able to pick them up this time. So moving on, remember I mentioned, oh, these are some tuna patties, it looks like, that I need to eat up. My husband very much does not like the smell of them, so I have to eat them whenever he's not home. Here we are. Here's the Angus patties. that were donated to us. That's why we got the hamburger buns. And I love having these guys on hand sometimes. These are no sugar added fruit bars. And we've got the black cherry, strawberry kiwi, and mixed berry flavors. These are just really good whenever you want something sweet and cold. Better than ice cream, even though we got ice cream this time and we have already eaten it. We went shopping about a week ago, so we've already eaten into a lot of things. But we ate up that ice cream already. And we still have these fruit bars for whenever we want something cold and sweet. Next up, I picked up another 4-pack of butter from Costco. These last us a good 2 months unless I'm doing a lot of baking. Picked up some extra fries because we have a lot of chicken that I picked up as well. And I picked up a 10-pound bag of chicken breasts. And I'm going to experiment more with using these instead of the rotisserie chicken because it is cheaper to get them this way. It's just that I have to cook it and chop it to use in things. And that's okay. Next up, we've got our cheese. I always like to have backup cheese. So we've got mozzarella, and we've also got some sharp cheddar. We use more cheddar than mozzarella, which is why I have an extra bag in the refrigerator. Next up, we have these tortillas. And these are from Costco. They are much cheaper than getting it from Walmart. They come in a 3-pack of medium-sized tortillas. If I recall correctly, there is 12 tortillas to a pack. And it's a 3-pack of those. Next down here we've got a bag of chicken. We wanted to make sure we had plenty of that. We've got a loaf of bread in here, and that's just for grilled cheese sandwiches or whatever we might want. Or peanut butter and jelly. We need to eat more of those. We've got a lot of peanut butter and jelly. And then these ham and cheese biscuits were a gift from my grandmother. She makes these every once in a while for us, and we absolutely love them. I make them myself as well, but it's nice to have them pre-made once in a while. More broccoli, because broccoli is one of my favorite vegetables. I'm pretty picky about vegetables, so I eat what I'll eat. Then we've got lots and lots of cooked hamburger meat ready to go in 1-pound Ziploc bags. And this is more of the Tyson chicken. That's the chicken that I eat. My husband likes the Great Value. And hiding down here in the corner, we've got blueberries for blueberry muffins. Just like these. These happen to be from a family member as well. She baked these up for me. I'm going to make some of my own, but with my shoulder injury, I haven't been doing a lot of meal prepping and baking of late. It's just one of those things when you hurt your shoulder, it's hard to mix things, it's hard to reach for things. So that has not been happening as much lately. Okay, so this is the chest freezer. And normally, as I said, we have a little piece of paper taped up here with the inventory for the freezer so nothing goes bad. But I haven't gotten around to doing that yet with all the brand new groceries that we just bought. And last but not least, sorry for the echo, but this is ice melt that we got. It snows quite a bit here, and so we needed to have some on hand. I'm gonna put a bag of this in the trunk of our car, and I'm also gonna have this bag here for whenever we need it to help with our driveway. And of course, we got the pet-friendly kind because our neighbors have pets and we wouldn't want them to accidentally eat some of that while they're playing in the snow and end up getting sick. So we spent a little extra and got the pet-friendly kind. All right, so that is it for today. That is our grocery haul plus what little we had left in our pantry and freezers, and I hope it gave you a few ideas as to how you can store and organize things, and maybe give you some ideas of what to buy and what to try for dinner this upcoming month. Have a Merry Christmas, and I will see you next time. Bye!